what I'm about to share with you, most people aren't going to believe me. And I wouldn't even believe me if it didn't happen to me, but it did. But 11 years ago, when I turned 30 years old, I started waking up to the true nature of reality. I started realizing that there was more to this reality than what we can just see, hear, feel, and touch. And I started sharing my experiences online 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago now, actually. And I started talking about the Illuminati and Hollywood and the pedophilia and the adrenochrome and the satanic rituals and human sacrifice and the cannibalism and the people, the movie stars, the celebrities involved in this satanic ritual. And immediately I started noticing when I would go out, I was being followed by all these blacked out vehicles, blacked out Suburbans, GMCs, whatever, and I'd be walking down the street, and there'd be people following me walking on the street. There would be cars going around me. I kept going around me. There would be helicopters that would constantly fly over my head, or even airplanes just directly over my head. Like I was under a flight path, but there was no regular flight path. It was anywhere I was, it didn't matter. They would fly directly over my head, like as if I was under a flight path. And this went on for 10 years of my life, where I was under surveillance by the CIA, the FBI, the NSA. They were completely monitoring everything, all my social media, all my phone calls, all my text messages. Even when I wasn't on the phone or have any devices on me, they were able to track me wherever I go. So if I would go to a Starbucks or something, the people would already be there waiting for me. And it was just so overtly obvious that I was their focus. It's called gang stalking. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But it's a program. It's called the Targeted Individual Program that the CIA created to basically target and isolate targets or certain people based on maybe their political beliefs, or they were exposing government corruption or anything that was talking against the establishment or the system. You could be marked as a target and be surveilled and followed. And then it went way deeper than just that. They started using mind control technologies on me. They were able to somehow use quantum AI supercomputers that were monitoring my brain waves, my frequency, and able to decode what I was thinking in my head and read my mind. And I know this because I would be thinking certain things, and then all of a sudden it would appear in my physical reality within minutes after thinking. Like, for example, if I was driving down the street and I thought of a purple Cadillac or something, minutes later a purple Cadillac would pull out right in front of me and start driving in front of me. And I was just blown away. I honestly thought that, and I still do believe that aliens are also behind this technology and the targeting of, human beings, for people that are waking up or seeing beyond the veil and sharing their experiences online, and then waking other people up. They don't want you waking other people up. So they want to know everyone that you're talking to, everyone that's seeing your shit. And then they'll start getting followed if they start waking up. And they systematically tried to destroy my life. They isolated me from my parents, from my friends. Nobody would believe me. They made me look crazy. And the targeted individual program is so sophistically crafted that it's able to make it look like the target is mentally ill or experiencing some sort of psychosis or paranoid schizophrenia, when in reality, that's not true. They're using technology and tactics to mimic that, so it makes the target look crazy. And the goal is to get the target to either end up in a mental institution, in jail, or to suicide themselves. So that way, if anything happens, there's no liability on the intelligence agencies or the law enforcement or anything that's perpetrating these crimes against humanity on certain individuals in the population. And I know that why I'm here, and I know that I was placed here. I chose to be here at this time to awaken other individuals to the true nature of reality, to help humanity expand their consciousness and what's really possible and what's going on out there. Because the truth is, the reality in which they created humanity to live in is a bubble. And everything inside that bubble, everyone views as reality. But the truth is, there's a whole world of shit going on outside that bubble, which is the true reality. And if you've been watching the news and just watched everything in the last few years, they're now talking about aliens. They're talking about the hidden technology. They're talking about interdimensional beings. I mean, it's all coming out. And the deep state, the Illuminati, the elite, the powers that be that have been in control of this world for hundreds, thousands of years. We've been ruled by a 6,000-year-old ancient satanic group of people to basically use us as cattle and use us for our energy and our money, and so that they can behind the scenes do whatever the fuck they want to do and not get caught. And they have technologies like voice to skull technology where they can point a device at you and direct voices, words, noises, and can use anybody's voice. They can make it sound like Barack Obama or Trump is talking to you, and you can hear it inside your head, and no one else can hear it. And what it does is it starts vibrating your inner eardrums, so it sounds like you're hearing it, but it's actually coming from inside. It's not an outside source you're hearing. And they're able to do that to mind control people, to manipulate people. This is how all these school shootings and happen and stuff, is by people being manipulated by the voice to skull technology, where they're hearing voices and the voices are telling them to do something and manipulating the person into doing shit, so that way they can get their agenda across or do whatever it is that they're trying to do. And this is this has been going on for decades, but it's just now starting to catch on and becoming more mainstream that this is happening and this is really going on. More people are speaking out about it. I mean, you can go on Facebook and there's hundreds of gang stalking and targeted individual groups with thousands and thousands of people in these groups all experiencing the same thing. And it was so crazy because they would manipulate my reality and create all these coincidences to happen one after another over and over and over and over every day, where it's beyond coincidence. In random reality, it would be impossible for these coincidences to take place without there being some sort of intelligent force behind it. So this went on for me for 10 years, and they set me up so many times. I ended up in jail, in the county jail so many times. The last time they fucked with me so bad, I lost my condo. I lost all my shit. I lost my cars. I ended up homeless for 6 months. And then eventually, I was in a position where I had nowhere safe to sleep at night. They were after me. They were trying to do things to kill me or hurt me and harm me. And I didn't have a car, so I ended up stealing a car from a car dealership so I'd have a way to get around and a place to sleep at night. And about 3 weeks later, I ended up getting caught with it, and I spent 3 years in jail. I just got out a little bit over a year ago, but they destroyed my life. I had to completely start over. So I was living in Los Angeles at the time, But when I got out, I moved to Vegas to just start over, start fresh, and get my life going again. But I mean, it was just, I don't wish this upon anyone. I mean, all these people are suffering. They're losing their minds. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their money. They're losing their family. They're losing their friends, because it's so hard to believe. And the person sounds and looks so crazy when they try to explain what's going on. Because when it first starts happening, I had no clue about this. I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know what was going on. I thought that I'd like lost my mind. I thought I was going crazy. I couldn't believe I was being followed by such an organized, large group of people in cars, on foot, in the sky. I mean, there were lights, drones, whatever you want to call it, UFOs. And I seen plenty of UFOs. There was a whole bunch of UFO activity going on around me at this time too. But like, I would be followed by drones in the sky, and at night they'd have a light just shining like right above me. And no matter where I would go, whether if I was in LA and I drove all the way to Vegas or whatever, it would follow me anywhere and everywhere. And this went on every single day for 10 years of my life before I eventually ended up in jail for 3 years. I got out and it all stopped. I don't know why they choose to stop it. I mean, I stopped speaking upon all this stuff. And if I start speaking upon all of it again, it's probably going to start fucking with me again. I'm not going to lie, but I really don't care. I think it's more important to get the word out and let people know what's going on, because there's a lot more to this reality in which we were made to believe. We've been lied about everything. When you look at 9/11, when you look at COVID, the vaccines, JFK, I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on. So if you're not questioning reality, if you're not a conspiracy theorist at this point, you're an idiot. You should be questioning everything the government's saying. I mean, nothing you're seeing on TV right now is real. It's all a script. It's all a script. It's all a narrative to control your mind and get you into believing a certain thing. And until you unplug from that, which most people aren't willing to do, you're going to be trapped in this fake bubble of reality and under their control. But I'll speak more on it later. I just wanted to put out a short video. If you guys could help support me, buy a hat, buy a t-shirt, shopcallimade.com. That would help me out. And I'll talk to you guys soon.